Lovely people, as soon as you click to watch, do us this favor that costs you nothing. Like this video, subscribe to this platform, turn on your notification bell to on notification. This will enable YouTube to recommend and suggest our videos to you. So there is this advice that our brother give to all the adoros that are just coming in, even those that are just new here. I want you to listen to this advice and also to see what is going on between Russia, Ukraine, and Germany. This is an interesting video. If you don't find it interesting, please allow those that find it interesting to watch. Some people may come here and say, what concerns us with Russia and Ukraine? Anyway, you don't know what is going on. Just take a look at this video. You will understand. I am Linda. I am not here to mislead you. I am here to inform, educate, and let you know what is going on in Germany. Remain blessed.
Immigration system this time around is getting tough every day by day. As day they dark, they break. Now so the law they change. Now so the system they change. Now so the security they get tough. If you they enter new or say you don't enter new, the only thing where you go to pray God, now make God direct you to somebody where be say the person go to tell you as you go take go, so that you no go fall for victim, so that you go follow things easy to get to that promised land. Because if you eventually make mistake, stain your hand, put your hand for anything wey be say e dey against the law, honestly speaking, your failure for that country e don start. More especially may I start from this Germany here. Germany e no be like before, wey be say if many of our brothers, not only Germany, even Europe as a whole, e no be like before, wey be say if many of our brothers come within 1 year 2 years, they don't do the basic things which they suppose do back home. The house where they suppose build for their own family and for town, they don't do them. The basic things we be say they supposed to fix back home, they don't fix them within 1 year 2 years. This time around, it no be like that. If God help you, you enter. You meet any of our brother or any of our sister, we go they tell you, say, make you the find way where you go take integrate. After that, make you find way where be say you go take do hospital or to learn handwork. Any of our brother or any of our sister where you meet, where they advise you this way, no try to they keep far from that person. That person love you. I know say many people this time around, if they want come, if you ask them say why they want come, they go tell you say I want come hustle now. If you come, what you want to do? They say anything where they available, I go they do them. Now before where anything where they available, people go they do them for Europe. No be this time around. No be anything again. If you are coming this time around, just make sure say you don't take that decision. Say if you come, you go fix your mind or you go fix yourself to work. That is it. That is the only thing that will take you to promised land. More especially like in this Germany here. For those of you when one resident in Germany, just make sure say now work. Now it go take you to the promised land. Yes. If you try come, you meet any of your brother, any of your friend, we could advise you, say make you they go straight. Keep far from that person. That person, you know, like you. That time and this time around, no be the same. Waiting at they tell you not true to be that. That person where you meet, we go they tell you how you go take integrate, how you go take do hospital, learn handwork. Honestly speaking, it go help you well. You no go regret them. One thing with the Germany be say they believe and they value people where be say they learn handwork, they do hospital more than people where even go university. That one not sure. Except say that university say you do them here and a professional course now you do. But if say now all those quick course, anything where they for university, you go there, go read them. That one they know they even they see you. Just have it in mind that as you they enter or as you they plan to come, say you are coming strictly to work. Anything out of work, my brother, you go land yourself for a problem. And one thing here be say, once you don't come, send your hand, it don't day for record, and they go they monitor you. And one thing wey be say anything where you do go inside they come out. If you don't get document that time, they go reduce that your document to square one. Then when you come out, your document no go get any weight again. Any little space, they don't take that document from you. more especially the condition wey be say they give most of our brothers and sisters wey be say they come run street, they go inside, they come out. No be that condition then they keep many of our people where they fall for that victim today. Anything wey go make you stand your hand, remove your hand out of it. Play cool. Many of our people, many of our brothers that are where they run street, all of them, because things don't dey rough. Many of them, they don't collect all their level from people where they give them. Some of them they use the tidy. They use them by themselves. They tidy by themselves because street don't cast. Nothing there for street this time.
And we can talk now to Knut Abraham, a member of the German Bundestag for Chancellor Merz's conservative CDU party. He is also a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee and a former diplomat and a soldier. Welcome to DW. Thanks so much for your time today. What do you think about the fact that Vladimir Putin won't be attending these peace talks with Ukraine in Turkey, talks that he himself proposed?
Yes, exactly. But it is basically and foremost a positive development that there are any talks going on. There haven't been contacts except for prisoner exchange for many months and years, and so the sheer fact that delegations meet is positive. But on the other hand, what does Putin want to tell the world by sending a third-rank, a third-class delegation to negotiations which should lead, or what could lead, to a ceasefire? With the composition of this delegation, you can see clearly the intent by the Russian president not to proceed, but just to play on the chess field.
Well, that's right. I mean, is Putin serious about peace talks? I mean, you know, is this, as you're saying, is this just a maneuver to avoid implementing this 30-day ceasefire that was called for by the US president and by Kyiv's European allies? Is this all delay tactics?
Yeah, yes, this is an old Russian trick. We have seen that in the Minsk agreements we had in the years following 2014. The old trick to start kind of contacts of negotiations and then prolong, intend and just pretend to be interested in a dialogue, but in fact not moving a millimeter. This is an old Russian trick, and that should be put into consequences, and we should proceed with the sanctions and, of course, with the delivery of weapons.
Well, Germany's Chancellor Friedrich Merz, he, of course, went to Kyiv, didn't he, with the Polish, French leaders and British leaders threatened Putin with harsh new sanctions if he didn't agree to an immediate ceasefire. The question is, though, is this pressure working? Does Putin care what Europe does?
This is absolutely dependent on how we proceed in the next days. So the European Union and European allies, as the UK, we have to keep the path and work on strengthening the sanctions so that there is no misunderstanding in Moscow, that we really mean it seriously. And this is also true for more defense, more air defense, more weapons of any kind for Ukraine.
And is that going to happen? I mean, Merz called on the previous government to send German long-range Taurus missiles to Ukraine. He is in charge now. Is he going to deliver?
In my understanding, there are talks going on how to deal with the famous Taurus question. It is clear that this will not be a path only by Germany. It is to be included in a common European approach. But this, I think, will happen if we do not see immediate results of these ceasefire, whatever, contacts or negotiations.
I'm sure everyone will be watching closely. Christian Democratic Union lawmaker Knut Abraham, thank you so much, Mr. Abraham, for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And we can also talk to Olena Prokopenko here. She's a senior fellow at the German Marshall Fund and a former advisor to Ukraine's finance minister. She joins us from Brussels. Olena, President Putin has decided not to meet his Ukrainian counterpart for peace talks in Turkey, even though it was Russia itself that proposed direct talks. What message does that send?
Well, Putin's demonstrative no-show to the meeting that he himself initiated once again clearly demonstrates that Russia is not interested in the peace talks. It's not interested or ready for a ceasefire. It's not interested in lasting peace. Russia's goal, in fact, in the past 11 years since its waged this war against Ukraine has not changed. Russia still wants Ukraine to surrender, be it through the genocide that Russia is committing in Ukraine or through the diplomatic means. So Putin wants to remain in these negotiations. He wants to drag them on for as long as possible without any outcomes. He wants to use them in order to retain access to President Trump and increase economic cooperation with the U.S., but he's not interested in any substantive discussion, and we have been seeing it all along, unfortunately.
I should just mention that Russia, of course, would deny that it's committing genocide in Ukraine. Nonetheless, these are the first direct peace talks between Moscow and Kyiv in 3 years. Could something positive, do you think, come out of this?
Well, this looks like an important milestone, but if we look again at the space for compromise, at the substance, at the positions of the two parties involved, we see that there's no space for any compromise. Ukraine says that it's there in Istanbul to discuss ceasefire, 30-day ceasefire that the U.S. proposed and Ukraine accepted. And Russia basically sends its delegation chaired by Medinsky, who rejects the whole idea of Ukraine as a state, and who chaired Russia's delegation back in 2022 when Russia tried to force Ukraine into an agreement that would in fact mean Ukraine's capitulation. So I think the best outcome that come out of this meeting is for the U.S. to finally acknowledge that Russia is not ready for peace, is not ready even for temporary ceasefire. And this is when the West should start taking it seriously as well. It should unite. It should put pressure on Russia through sanctions, including secondary sanctions, through political isolation, and the West should to Ukraine.
What about those sanctions? As you say, the U.S. and the EU have threatened to impose more sanctions on Russia if it doesn't show willingness to make peace. Do you think those sanctions will now be forthcoming? And if so, to what effect?
Well, I'm very hopeful about the sanctions that have just been agreed upon by the European member states, and these sanctions will affect Russia's military capabilities. But of course, the U.S. sanctions will be most significant, and they would, if they are voted, which will probably create a lot of political tensions between all the key parties involved. I mean, we know that this will not be an easy vote in Congress, but it's important that these sanctions are imposed because peace in Ukraine and Ukraine's security is European security and, in fact, global security. And I think Trump gets increasingly more frustrated with how Putin slaps him on the face, rejecting everything Trump tries to do in these peace talks. And I think we're getting to the point when the U.S. may join the EU in finally putting significant pressure on Russia that will increase the cost of this war for Putin and for Russia at large.
Olena Prokopenko, senior fellow at the German Marshall Fund, thank you very much for speaking.